Okay, what's up, everybody? Wow, what a pay-per-view. UFC 257, did you guys catch it? If you didn't, close out the video, because we're going to talk about it. My name is Brian Nichols. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get on in it, shall we? So, we have UFC 257. Let's see, today's date is January 23rd. And we're in 2021. I completely forgot Conor's last fight. My apologies for my dog squeaking. Was already a year ago. Cowboy and him was January of 2020, so before COVID. Crazy how time flies. Oh, I want to say at the top real quick, my New Year's resolution for this year was to get a reaction video for every UFC event for this year, and I haven't failed you yet. I haven't put up one for the UFC event on Wednesday of this week of Chiesa versus Magny. I have yet to watch it. I actually started it. I think I'm on the top of the prelims. The whole Wednesday thing threw me off, so I'm catching up. I'm going to make it. It's going to be a little out of order. Maybe I'll be able to finish it up tomorrow, if not Monday. Sunday I might be busy with some football games. But I'm working on it. Today I was able to sit here and watch the whole pay-per-view, so it is coming. So I still don't even know who won that card between Chiesa and Magny. So I'm trying to just stay away from it all. Okay, so let's talk about this pay-per-view, shall we? So in the main event, we have Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. And we have Dustin Poirier pulling the win off via KO, TKO from punches in the second round, 2 minutes 32 seconds in. Damn. My friends were asking me, like, oh, who's going to win? It's always hard to say, when it's a rematch. It's really hard to say that it's not going to be the one that won the first fight. It's hard to say that it's Dustin, because Conor won the first one. Why wouldn't he win the second one, Why couldn't he just implement what he did in the first one and win the second one? Hey, he won the first one, he's going to win the second one, But I told my friends, I was like, I think Conor could edge it out. But this is a whole different Dustin Poirier. I understand, of course, Conor has changed and gotten better over time as well. But Jesus Christ, dude. Poirier has been through the grinder. Moving up in weight. Dude, beating the who's who. At 155, of course, losing to Khabib. But, Jesus. I told my friends, I said, it's going to be a lot more competitive than I think a lot of people think. And it was. And Dustin won. Like, holy shit. You could tell, like, my wife was watching the main event with me, and I told her, I was like, in my opinion, Dustin, like, everybody knows how Conor fights. He comes out of the gate, bat out of hell. And the fight starts like this, this is Conor fighting at the beginning of first round, second round, third round, and then maybe his drop-off isn't as hard as it was against the Nate in their first and second fights. But because he's at 155, he brought in that one, I don't think it's a conditioning coach, a physiology doctor or something. So I think his conditioning is better, but everybody knows how Conor fights, and he's going to slow down a little bit at least. But as history tells us, and if we can learn from history, you don't want to be full force going in on Conor in round one, and even probably round two. The dude is a motherfucker in round one. So the game plan, of course, slow him down, defense, and just survive round one. Of course that's going to be. I feel like that should be everybody's game plan. Look at Khabib. Same shit. It's just... So, when that first round started, Conor was lighting him up, dude. Conor was hitting him, clipping him. And I think he hit... I don't want to say it stunned him, but he hit Dustin real good at one point. I forget what point in round one it was. And, but Dustin was using his defense. I think he was doing good trying to maneuver away. At one point, you could tell... I don't want to say there was a switch. I don't know if it was the second round or towards the end of the first. There was a switch where Dustin was doing the whole like pointing like haha kind of thing a little bit here and there, but not just that, but you could see he was starting to feel like the distance management, like he wasn't failing that. Like Conor wasn't able to pull him in like of course he does to everybody else, where he can pull you in for that strike, just miss it and come back and light you up, you know? I feel like Dustin, and then there was a point where Conor does with his left hand where he'll do a right and then a left straight down the pipe, and Dustin just rolled and rolled, and like you could tell he practiced that so much, dude. Like it was so good how he was just able to dodge right out of the way. I was like, holy shit, dude. I don't want to say it's telegraphed, but that's how Conor gets his wins, you know, is that left straight, that left cross, and how Dustin was able. It was funny because I think it was the second. It might have been the first. I forget. It was so fast. I gotta go rewatch it. But I think it was the second round, if I remember correctly. Conor threw it, and Dustin just bobbed and weaved right out of it, and then Conor threw it again right after that and hit him with it. I was like, oh Jesus, you just got out of it, but yeah, holy fuck. So let's talk about the ramifications of this fight. Let's start with the loser. Let's start with Conor. Where does Conor go from here? In the post-fight interview, number one, let's talk about actually not specific. Well, it is specific to Conor, but what's this whole deal about? You know, when a fighter gets knocked out, we're not going to go and interview him. The dude just got knocked out. You know, he wasn't flatlined, but he probably got concussed. You would think, you know. He got hurt, and we're still interviewing him. But it's Conor. So, of course, it's going to happen. But everybody else like, ooh, let's not interview him, which I agree. Like, you know, what's the one glaring one I can think about? Daniel Cormier. You know, we interviewed him after, was it the second fight with John Jones? And he got head kicked, and he was, like, crying, like, talking crazy, like, you know, just sobbing. And it's like, dude, you don't want to put your fighters in that kind of spot right after. Like, they're confused. They're all, you know, I've never been in that situation. It's hard for me to exactly say. I'd almost have to ask a fighter like DC or somebody else or Conor that's been put in that position. Obviously, Conor did pretty well on the mic, but he's always good on the mic. But even when you get your shit rattled like that, I don't think you can all talk all, you know, as well as you could if you didn't. So, besides that, I think Conor made some good points about activity. And that's what I brought up in the beginning, is thinking about when he had his fight with Cowboy. I was like, shit, that was a year ago. And I remember him talking about he wanted to be more active in 2020. I'm assuming COVID is a reason he wasn't as active in 2020. And he's 100% right. Dude, Dustin has been active. Look at the list they showed of people that Dustin has been beating recently. You know, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, you know, who else has he beaten recently? God, my brain's killing me right now. Max Holloway. You know, of course he lost to Khabib. Who else? He was supposed to fight Nate. I forgot about that. And that got canceled. He beat Anthony Pettis. They had that in the highlight reel. So he's been active, you know. Even in that loss to Khabib, he was active. Where Conor's having that one fight every year or one fight every other couple of years, you know. Dude, I don't know if you want to call it ring rust or whatever you want to call it. It's definitely real. You can see it. And Conor had it, in my opinion. He didn't look slow. He looked good in that first round. But I felt like he wasn't as... He didn't blow the doors off like he typically does, you know. He sets that bar so high, and when he doesn't hit it, you're like, something's not right. So if that's what he thinks, I believe him. It probably was just not being active. So, hey, get in there, take your loss, be a man like he did. Kudos to Conor. Stay out of trouble in your normal life. Hopefully with COVID, with everybody being locked down, he'll not get in trouble. And, you know, line up another fight. You know, maybe, let me think. What's next for Conor? Here, let's look at the rankings, shall we? UFC.com. Rankings. Okay, lightweight. Now, let's just assume It's hard to say. I mean, if Khabib is really stepping away, let's pretend Khabib's not there. Gaethje's 1, Dustin's 2, Oliveira's 3, ooh. Conor's 4, Tony's 5, Dan Hooker's 6. Now Chandler's probably in that mix. With that fucking... Well, we'll talk about Mr. Chandler in a second, but with Chandler's call out and his win, it's hard not to say Chandler versus either Oliveira or Chandler versus Poirier. If Khabib's going to step aside, Poirier and one of those two should be for the belt. Not interim, the full fucking belt. But then you still have Justin, who just lost. So Justin's either going to fight Oliveira or Chandler, or he could fight Conor. Conor, yeah. Oh, Jesus. It's kind of weird for Conor to fight the number 2 guy and then go and fight the number 1 guy even though he lost. But it's Conor. That could definitely happen. So, yeah, Conor could... I don't think he'll take Tony because Tony just got beat handily by Charles Oliveira. I'd almost say Justin. Jesus. Yeah. Justin or maybe Chandler since Chandler called him out. We'll switch gears. Maybe it'll be a little more clear for Dustin. Dustin has to fight either Oliveira or Chandler. Do you give Chandler that shot at the belt right after a performance like that? Let's talk about that. So Michael Chandler defeated Dan Hooker, round 1, 2 minutes 30 seconds, KO, TKO, left hook to ground and pound. So yeah, basically Chandler was going right hand to the body and then left hook right after and clubbed him. Dude, I thought Hooker's head was going to go in the audience as some of the points, as some of the strikes that Chandler was throwing. I thought Chandler was going to gas himself out with those kind of... But he was being so methodical and so... Like, Hooker's doing it almost... I want to say very similar to Gaethje versus... God, am I forgetting his name? I gotta look it up. Hold on. Gaethje versus... You guys are probably screaming at your monitor. Probably not. Vic. Gaethje versus Vic. I felt like it was very similar to that, where Gaethje was just methodical, slow, waiting for a shot. Like, he'd take a couple swings, like, test it, and then finally clubbed Vic. I feel like that's what happened to Hooker. I felt like Hooker just... I don't know if he didn't know how to just get away from him. Like, because I feel like Chandler did a good job of staying not only in front of him, but blocking him, cutting off the cage. So, yeah, it's either Chandler versus Poirier. God, yeah, dude, matchmaking for this division is crazy. Especially even with Khabib. Well, with Khabib, it's rough because Dustin obviously just lost a fight or two to Khabib. Who else we got? So he beat Justin, he beat Dustin, beat Conor. It's either Oliveira or Chandler for Khabib, you know. But if Khabib's not there, then you got Dustin. Yeah, man. If Chandler wants Conor, give it to him. Give it to him. If he doesn't want to have the belt and he wants that shot at Conor, hey, do it. Have that happen. Have Dustin Oliveira fight for the belt. Again, assuming Khabib's not around. Gaethje. God. Tony Ferguson? Granted, Tony just lost to Oliveira. But if Oliveira's going for the belt, Gaethje just lost. I could kind of see that if Tony wants to come back. That'd be a good fight. That'd be entertaining, of course. God, I could riff on just the lightweight division forever. I don't want to talk about it too much. I do want to talk about some other fights on the card. But let me just say this. Holy fuck. That was fun. It was a fun main event and co-main event. It was great. I kind of felt like in some of the other fights on the card overall, but let's go through them real quick. Fight before that, I didn't catch all the fights. I will say that. I should have prefaced that in the beginning. So I think I only missed one fight, but I'm not going to review all of them. I mean, some of them are For example, I know people are saying Joanne Calderwood should get the next shot at Valentina. Like, okay, yes, she probably deserves it. Do we all think she actually has a shot at beating her? Hey, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong, man. But hey, solid win, I guess. Yeah. Fight before that, that was Makhmud Muradov versus Andrew Sanchez. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of high on Sanchez for a little bit, especially right after the Ultimate Fighter. Like, I thought he was. I don't think he'd be championship material. I thought maybe top 10, and then maybe I don't want to say stagnate, but kind of learn, take a couple losses, work his way up. I feel like Sanchez is going backwards, man. Let me look at his record. So he lost, obviously, today. His win in 2020 was 08. Wellington Turman, never heard of him. Before that, he lost to Marvin Vittori. That was late 2019. And then mid-2019, he got a win. Mark Perez in late 2018. So let's just say, before that, 2 losses. Let's say beginning of 2017 till now, so 4 years. He has, let's see, 1, so 3 wins, 4 losses. I don't know if Mr. Sanchez should go to another organization, just kind of get his, what do they say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, whatever. I don't know what you do with Mr. Sanchez. Muradov looked good. You know, he looked good. Let him get a couple more wins, and it was weird. How many fights has he actually had in the UFC? Was it 2? 1, 2, 3. And they're saying he's going to get like maybe top 15, top 10. Like, really? Okay. Fight before that, Marina Rodriguez. Woo! Defeating Amanda Ribas versus KO TKO punches in the 54 seconds of round number 2. God damn. Everybody was high on Amanda Ribas. Marina Rodriguez is like, nah, not today, bitch. Nah, just kidding. Dude, that was good. And you don't see a lot of fights stopped like that. Especially in 115. It is great to see an actual punch at strawweight, affecting women. You don't see that a lot. I feel like it's always head kicks in women's divisions in 115 and 125 and 135 that ends fights, or obviously submissions. But when it comes to strikes, I feel like it's always a head kick. So it's nice to see punches finish fights. So great win by Marina Rodriguez. Next, the Matt Frivola fight, nothing too great there. Brad Tavares and Antonio Carlos Jr., a.k.a. Shoeface, went to unanimous decision, 3 rounds. That fight was okay. Brad Tavares looked okay. I feel like he's solid. I don't ever see like super terrible fights by Brad Tavares. So I don't know where you go with Brad Tavares, I'll be honest. I don't know. Maybe just keep getting a couple wins. Fight before that, Juliana Pena defeating Sarah Mcmahon. This one was a rough one. Round 3, 3 minutes 39 seconds in via submission by rear naked choke. I think they said the broadcast there was 40. I don't want to say. I hate telling people hanging up, but man, it looked rough. And Juliana's, what was she calling for the fight with Amanda Nunes? Maybe she has a shot on the ground, but standing up, dude, Juliana's not going to beat Amanda Nunes. Top of that, she's busy. She's busy at 145. I remember that video, was it her fight with Cyborg that she put up where she's like, I don't know if I'll go back to 135, and she was like trying to pull her pants up and her ass cheeks were out of her jeans. She's like, Dana, I can't do it anymore. But she went back to 135. But, yeah. I don't know. Like, Juliana Pena is trying to knock on the door of that championship fight, but I don't know if Amanda's going to stick around after this fight in 145 against, what's her face there? How am I forgetting her name? Yeah. God, I know her name. I can see her face. My brain's not working today. So, yeah, good win there. Let's see, who else? Khalil Roundtree taking the L. That sucked. I like Khalil Roundtree a lot. The Nick Lentz fight, yeah, nothing crazy after that. So a lot of decisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decisions out of 11 fights. So 6 and 5, yeah. KO. 1 One submission out of the entire card. Juliana Pena with a rear naked choke. Everything else was TKO, TKO. Damn. Anyways, hey, great fight again. I'm you know what? Last thing. What was that little thing they were talking about? Dan Hooker put his gloves in the octagon / cage and walked out. They don't know if he was mad or if he was saying he's going to retire. I kind of need an update there. I hope Dan Hooker's not retiring. I mean, just because Chandler. I mean, think of when Gaethje came in and how he was basically going to. Michael Johnson was saying, I'm going to put you back to the B leagues, things like that. Dude, you got to be careful, especially when UFC's signing people like Chandler, who's 21 and 5, and was Gaethje 18-0 or something like that. Like, you got to be careful. Like, okay, yeah, they're not fighting the UFC, but people need to understand. People that are in these other organizations, while yes, they may not have as talented of fighters, if they can still string wins up to 18, 19, 20 wins and only a couple losses or no losses, they're still going to be good. People need to realize, like, how I think about it is, while yes, Bellator has a little bit of less talented fighters, overall, they still have really good fighters. Here's like the UFC's fighters, right? Like, here's a bar graph. Their talent is like this much and then like no talent, right? Bellator is like talent, no talent. So there are still, I feel like that's a lot of organizations outside the UFC. They still have there's these little diamonds of talent in all these other organizations. And people just go, oh, you're from one championship, you suck. Oh, you're from Bellator, you suck. You got to be careful. Don't sleep on these people. Because you got to realize as well, not to keep riffing, but not only do they fight in the other organizations, cool, yeah, they're fighting people that could be a little less talented than people in the UFC. Who are these people in these other organizations training with? Probably people in the UFC. Think about that. Okay, they're fighting people in Bellator. That doesn't mean they strictly train with people in Bellator. It doesn't mean they strictly train with people in one championship. If they go to ATT and they fight in Bellator, they're training with people in ATT. What's that? People fighting the UFC from ATT. So you can't just chalk it up to, oh, you're in Bellator, so you're going to suck. Not always the case. And Gaethje and Chandler are good too. Now, there are, of course, other examples. People probably want to say Eddie Alvarez, but he got a belt. Granted, he got smoked by Conor, but he got a belt in the UFC. Hey, And think of the wars that Chandler and Eddie Alvarez had in Bellator years ago. Years ago, dude. And now Chandler comes to UFC and blows the fucking doors off it and rips a promo. Holy shit. Shoot your shot, kid. Man, kid, whatever. So it sucks for Hooker. I hope he's not retiring. I feel like he's still good. Maybe he doesn't think he can improve enough to stay at the top. I don't think he could go up another weight class. I don't know. With his lanky body, maybe. With his frame. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the pay-per-view. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, this is just me riffing on my thoughts initially after the pay-per-view. So thanks for watching. Again, I'm going to go back, finish up the card from Wednesday for Chiesa and Magny. I will be making a video. And let's see, anything else? Let's see. Dude, can you believe it's almost already end of January? Like almost a month after Christmas. Fucking time flies. I don't know if you can see it. Really small thing. Hopefully my next video I'll be using my new desk. You can kind of see the edge of it right over there. I have a stand-up desk that I'm working on, and I'm going to be, since I'm working from home, I'm going to be using that a lot more. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope your family, friends are safe. Definitely leave any comments, likes, what's the thing on YouTube, subscribe, all that jazz. Other than that, I'm out. Be nice to people, and see you guys. I'd say maybe Monday I can put up my recording of the Wednesday. If not, talk to you guys next week. Good night.